Okay, so Gerald made the bed and put the hydrangeas in, and then I'm going to try and plunk some sedums around. And the tall lilies I'll try and get at the back, over the back wall there. And I'm going to take some dirt out of here because the bed's too big. I was debating putting pots in the entire cage, but I've changed my mind for now. So we'll leave it as is. And I don't know if you can see that it's absolutely gorgeous out here today, but it's the last day we're going to have any sunshine for at least 2 weeks. It's going to rain, and then we're going to get snow and 0 degrees again. And because I got my feet full of mud, got my shoes all full of mud, we're going to do the muddy shoe shuffle. Muddy shoe shuffle. Muddy shoe shuffle. Yeah. Try and get the mud off our shoes, because I don't want to track it everywhere, because it's like clay. Mud shoe shuffle. Yes, ma'am. Oh, and look. Mole Central. Mole. Bastards. Mole. There's a slough down by the house. So now we'll do the back-breaking work of filling in that bed and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that dogwood. I tried digging it up, see if I could just lift it, but its roots are underneath all the clay, so I'll have to think of something else. I know what I'd like to do, but I just don't think it'll work, is put a pot over it, but I can't get it over top of the bloody branches, of course, so might have to cut one in half. Anyway. Flower bed. We're just going to dump old pots of stuff in it. Use that as fill. Go. More bloody pots to wash. Oh, sorry, that's my butt. Sorry. Idiot. These have got onions in them that didn't survive the winter. But who knows, they might grow up out of here. You never know. But it's all good. I got more stone in the house. Okay, sorry about the rear end shots. Okay. And I'll fill them up some more and then put some sedums in and come back to you. Okay, so lilies are all in. All that whole back wall will have lilies in it. I'll have sedums in the center and whatever else I can cram in there. It's all about a balance of flowers and vegetables. Whew, I'm pooped. Shoveling mud's never fun. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, so I'm cleaning out in here because I might do some radishes. So I'm cleaning out these little bed things in here, and look what I found. Can you see him right there? It's disgusting, man. I don't know what it is. It's a grub, I know that, but it's a huge frickin' grub. Hopefully there's not more in here, so I'm gonna have to dig around some more before I put anything in here. That's just disgusting. Ugh. Okay, bye. Okay, last job of the day. It's about 2 o'clock. I'm trying to get I took some soil out of here to put in the new bed. I need to wait till this dries up a bit and then re-tack the cloth that's along the edge there. I'm trying to get this lower because it's right up at the top of the edge of the wood. So every time I do anything, I'm getting wood all, as you can see, all along the netting. So might always have good intentions of not making a mess when I start digging soil, and I always invariably make a mess, but that's gardening for you. So that's done. I disposed of Mr. Grub. I put him on the table to feed him to the birds, and he escaped, so I don't know where he is. So disposing of him just means he's not in my pot anymore. And I'm thinking I'm just going to go in the house now. All right, one more thing. The brassicas are doing okay in here. I don't know how healthy they're going to be. They're not dead. And as you know me, that's a good sign. I have no idea what this is. I think it's a broccoli. It looks like a Looks like a tiny broccoli. Anyway, what I'll do is wait for the rains to stop. So we've got 2 weeks of pouring rain and minus degrees or 0 degrees coming up. So I'll wait, and then maybe once I get that bed fixed, I'll put them all out there. They should be okay at that point, she says, hopefully. I'm always terrified of putting my babies outside. Okay, I'm going in the house. I've worn myself out, and my yard is an absolute freaking tip and a mess and full of mud. Okay, no, really, this is the final. So I ended up having to dig that tree out because I could not figure out a way to keep the dirt from going around its base. And it can't be buried lower than its rootstock. It's got the 3 hydrangeas. In between all the hydrangeas and the tree, you can just barely see them trying to get their way through, are sedums. So sedum, 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 and sedum. Then all along the back are lilies, and then I threw some calendula seeds in there. We'll see how that goes. So that's it for today. Honest to God, it is. I'm going in now. If you just wondered how muddy it is out here, those are my gloves, and that's the second pair. There's the first pair. The third pair's in there. My pants are covered in mud. My feet are covered in mud. So, and obviously my yard is covered in mud. And look at my poor greenhouse. It's absolutely covered in mud. So, yeah. Oh, lots of jobs still to do. All good. And what new bed is not complete without more spring bulbs? So yeah, get these in today before the rains all come, hopefully, and see how they come up in the spring. Some of them are already starting to get little shoots on, so I got to get them in the ground today. But they don't cost this much. They were on sale, but even our bulbs here are absolutely ridiculous prices. But all good. I'll get them in the ground, and it does say they'll come back every year, so let's hope so. Oh, just going out to do I was going to say painting, Danny. Just going out to do the bulbs. But I just thought I'd show you. These are cedar trees, tiny little cedar trees. And I encouraged them along. They're from the cedar trees. The seedlings blow, or the seeds blow, and they land everywhere. Look at this bloody mess. They land in all my pots, so I just leave them there to grow. And this is what they look like. They don't look very happy right now because it's been cold and wet, but they will come back again and they will green up again. Cedar trees, free. On the table. Kind of messy up here. It's dirty and muddy, but yeah, it's wet. But I gotta get my bulbs in before the rain comes. Okay. Head examining time. Totally think I need to get my head examined. Another 100 freaking bulbs. Oh, Lord. Alright, so these are tall, so we'll get these at the back. Alliums. Get them in here. Sorry, backside. Now some of them look like crap. They're mush, so I'm just gonna compost those. If they look half livable, I'll put them in the ground. So, but yeah, freaking wet, man. Oh, that's a lily. Problem about planting bulbs is if you don't do them all at the same time, you could literally end up killing one you've already put in there, which is usually what I end up doing. Maybe it's a better idea to leave the holes open, and that way I will be able to see where I put the other ones. Sorry, this is going to take a while, so I'll let you see when I'm finished. Okay, so you can't obviously see absolutely any change, but in this one bed alone, there's 100 bulbs. So, well, it's a lie. I lied. I don't like leaving my hyacinths out here because they get soaking wet and they die and they smell so nice. So I put all the hyacinths in one big pot, which will go on the patio. Other than that, there's nothing changed. Soaking wet, pouring rain. So the only other thing I'm doing is some planning. And yes, Danny, at the Grapevine allotment, I bought some bloody paint just to satisfy you. Although I might not paint right now, they will get painted red. Paint has become one of those things that cost me like 10 bucks last year. It cost me 30 bucks this year for the same bloody paint. It's ridiculous. So I bought a liter, I don't know what they are, a pint of paint, $32, but it should do me for a year or two. So anyway, off into the house for lunch. It's cold, wet, and miserable. As always, one last thing. We were talking the other day about labels and washing your labels. So that's my label bucket. It sits here all year and I just chuck them in there. It's got water and bleach in it and they do eventually come off. But I put a top on it because I don't want any poor little frog or anything, because we have tiny little 2-inch frogs. I don't want one getting in there and drowning in the bleach water. So that stays there, like I said, all year.